Harry Dixon's fist smashed into the iridescent alien's face with a crack, violet blood spraying the cryo chamber walls. "Where the fuck am I?" Harry roared, fist cocked back to punch again. The slender creature raised a scaled hand. "Peace, I am Janus of the Evora. We found your cryopod adrift and woke you." Harry blinked, disoriented, his muscular frame tensing before the alien's explanations sunk in. He lowered his fist. I'm from Earth, in the Sol system." Janus cocked his head. "We do not know of this Earth. Please tell me more." Harry sighed and leaned back. Earth was dying. Overpopulation, dwindling resources, a changing climate. Humanity was on the brink. In desperation, Earth's governments united to build the Odyssey, a colony ship to carry us to a new home among the stars. Harry's eyes grew distant as memories flooded back. "I was crew on the Odyssey, ex-Special Forces turned scientist. But only days into our journey, a catastrophic engine failure forced us into cryosleep." His voice cracked. "That was 2150. I don't know how long it's been." Janus listened, amazed by the human's tale of resilience against impossible odds. An idea formed. "I will help you find the Odyssey and your crewmates," Janus declared. "But be warned, not all races will welcome you as we Evora do. The galaxy can be treacherous." Harry's eyes hardened with determination, a spark of something deep and fierce. "Doesn't matter. I'll face anything to find my people, and make sure humanity survives." He stood tall, squaring his shoulders, his mission clear. Find the Odyssey, save his species. No matter the cost. As Harry and Janus set out to track down the lost colony ship, Janus shared more about his own people, the Evora. They were an advanced civilization, their gleaming cities a testament to their mastery of science and technology. But the Evora's true strength lay in their commitment to peace and cooperation. They believed in the power of diplomacy, forging alliances and trade agreements with races across the galaxy. But the Evora's influence was limited. The Zorgon Empire, a vast militaristic power, had conquered half the known worlds through brute force and advanced weaponry. The Zorgon were obsessed with ancient technology, scouring the stars for relics that could give them an edge. News of Harry's revival spread like wildfire. Soon, every intelligence network in the galaxy was buzzing with reports of the human from Earth and whispers about the Odyssey's location. The information reached the heart of the Zorgon Empire, to the throne room of Emperor Zorgax himself. "A living human, impossible," Zorgax snarled. "They went extinct millennia ago." The spy bowed low. "It's true, my lord, and there's more. He may know the location of their colony ship. Imagine the technology, the secrets it could hold." Zorgax's eyes narrowed. "Set a course to intercept that Evora ship. I want that human alive, ready my personal fleet." As the Zorgon armada mobilized, Harry and Janus followed the faint trail left by the Odyssey's emergency beacon. The signal led them to an uncharted planet, its surface a patchwork of dense jungles and jagged mountains. "There!" Harry jabbed a finger at the scanner. "The beacon's coming from—" The ship lurched as a plasma blast slammed into their shields. Red lights flashed and alarms blared. A Zorgon patrol had found them. "Evasive maneuvers!" Janus shouted. Harry leapt into the co-pilot's seat, hands flying over the controls. "I've got weapons, keep us steady." The small Evora ship darted and wove between the Zorgon fighters. Harry's fingers danced across the console, sending precise bursts of laser fire back at their pursuers. One by one, the enemy ships winked out, consumed by brilliant explosions. But the damage was done. Smoke poured from the Evora ship's engines as it limped into the planet's atmosphere. The hull groaned as they plummeted towards the surface, the landscape below rushing up to meet them. With a tremendous crash, the ship ploughed into the undergrowth, carving a deep furrow into the alien soil, before shuddering to a halt. Harry and Janus stumbled from the wreckage, battered but alive. Before them, half buried in the foliage, lay the Odyssey. The massive colony ship, once a shining beacon of human ingenuity, was now a rusted hulk, its hull pockmarked with scorch marks and jagged holes. Harry stared at the wreckage, his heart pounding. Somewhere within lay the answers he sought, and perhaps survivors from Earth. With Janus at his side, he plunged into the alien jungle, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As Harry and Janus hacked their way through the twisted vines and gnarled roots of the alien jungle, I felt a strange sense of familiarity wash over me. This planet, though distant and unknown, held secrets that echoed through the ages. The Protheans, an ancient race that once called this world home, vanished eons ago, leaving behind only whispers of their existence. Legends spoke of their mastery over the very fabric of reality, of technology that could bend space and time to their will. But despite their power, they disappeared, their cities crumbling to dust, their knowledge lost to the void. As the two unlikely allies neared the wreckage of the Odyssey, a flicker of movement caught their eye. Figures emerged from the shadows of the ruined ship, led by a man with a glint of metal where his right arm should be. Marcus Riker, the Odyssey's former chief engineer, stood tall, his weathered face etched with suspicion. "Who the hell are you?" Riker demanded, his cybernetic hand clenching into a fist. Harry stepped forward, hands raised in a gesture of peace. "I'm Harry Dixon, crew of the Odyssey. This is Janus of the Evora. We're here to help." Riker's eyes widened, recognition dawning on his features. He lowered his guard, a wry smile tugging at the corners of his mouth. "Well, I'll be damned. Never thought I'd see another living soul from Earth again." As Harry and Janus were led into the makeshift camp within the Odyssey's shattered hull, Riker shared a grim revelation. "The Odyssey didn't just crash. We were sabotaged from the inside. And the traitor, they're still among us, biding their time." Tension crackled through the air as Riker's words sank in. But before the survivors could begin to process this new threat, a shrill alarm pierced the stillness. Emperor Zorgax's fleet had arrived, their ships darkening the skies above. Ground troops, armed to the teeth, poured from the crafts, intent on capturing Harry and the secrets of the Odyssey. Harry, Janus, and the survivors sprang into action, fortifying their defenses and preparing for the onslaught. As they worked, Harry and Janus delved deeper into the ruins, searching for anything that could give them an edge against the Zorgon. In a hidden chamber, they stumbled upon an artifact unlike anything they had ever seen. A glowing orb, pulsing with an otherworldly energy, sat atop a pedestal covered in ancient Prothean inscriptions. As Harry reached out to touch it, the orb flared to life, engulfing him in a blinding light. Images flooded his mind, visions of the Protheans' final days, of a cataclysm that tore their civilization asunder. Harry saw the truth in those fragmented memories. The artifact was a warning, a desperate plea from a dying race. The Protheans had faced a threat similar to the Zorgon, a force that sought to dominate and destroy. And if the Zorgon were not stopped, the same fate would befall the galaxy. As the revelation washed over Harry, the chamber shook with the impact of Zorgon weapons. The enemy had breached the ship's defenses, and the sound of battle echoed through the corridors. Harry and his companions fought with everything they had, but the Zorgon were relentless, their superior numbers and firepower pushing the defenders back. In a moment of desperation, Harry clutched the Prothean artifact to his chest, willing it to give him the strength to save his friends. The orb pulsed, its energy flowing through him, and with a blinding flash, a wave of pure force erupted from Harry's body. The Zorgon soldiers were thrown back, their weapons disintegrating in their hands. As the dust settled, Harry and his allies stood unscathed amidst the wreckage. The artifact had chosen him, imbuing him with the power of the Protheans. With this new gift, Harry knew that he had a chance to turn the tide, to stop the Zorgon and prevent the galaxy from sharing the Protheans' fate. As I watched Harry wield the power of the Prothean artifact against the Zorgon forces, I knew that a new chapter in this saga was about to unfold. The ancient relic had chosen him, and with that choice came a destiny far greater than any one man could bear alone. In the days that followed, Harry, Janus, and Riker pored over the Odyssey's archives, searching for any clues that might lead them to the other artifacts. As they delved deeper, a startling revelation came to light. The artifact in Harry's possession was but one piece of a larger puzzle, a network of relics scattered across the galaxy, each holding a fragment of the Protheans' vast knowledge. To unlock the artifact's true potential and stand a chance against the Zorgan Empire, Harry would need to embark on a perilous quest to recover the remaining pieces. It was a daunting task, but one he knew he must undertake for the sake of all life in the galaxy. Janus and Riker were quick to volunteer their aid, their loyalty to Harry and the cause unwavering. They were joined by a small group of survivors from the Odyssey, each bringing their own unique skills and experiences to the table. As they prepared to set out, I couldn't help but feel a sense of trepidation. The galaxy was a vast and dangerous place, filled with wonders and terrors in equal measure. Harry and his companions would face challenges at every turn, from hostile alien races to treacherous environments. But even as they charted their course among the stars, a darker threat loomed on the horizon. Whispers began to reach my ears of an ancient evil stirring from its slumber, an enemy far more insidious than the Zorgon could ever hope to be. The Void Lords, as they were known, were a malevolent force that fed on the very essence of life itself. For eons they had slumbered in the depths of space, waiting for the right moment to strike. Now, with the Prothean artifact surfacing once more, they saw their chance to rise again. Harry and his team raced against time, desperate to gather the artifacts before either the Zorgon or the Void Lords could claim them. They fought their way through the twisted laboratories of rogue scientists, delved into the ruins of long-dead civilizations, and forged tenuous alliances with those alien races that shared their goal. Along the way, they uncovered more secrets about the Protheans and their connection to humanity. Ancient records spoke of how the Protheans had visited Earth millennia ago, guiding the evolution of Harry's ancestors and planting the seeds for their eventual ascent to the stars. With each revelation, Harry grew more certain that his fate was intertwined with that of the Protheans. He was more than just a soldier or a survivor. He was a guardian, tasked with protecting the galaxy from the darkness that threatened to consume it. As they neared the end of their quest, the true nature of the threat became all too clear. Emperor Zorgax, driven mad by his lust for power, had acquired one of the artifacts for himself. Corrupted by its influence, he now served as a conduit for the Void Lords, his once mighty empire reduced to a tool in their galactic game. On a blasted hellscape of a world, Harry and his team confronted Zorgax in a climactic battle that would decide the fate of billions. The Emperor was a force to be reckoned with, his mastery over the artifact's power making him all but invincible. But Harry had the strength of his convictions and the combined might of the Prothean relics at his back. With every ounce of his skill and determination, he fought to hold back the tide of darkness, to buy just one more day for the galaxy he had sworn to protect. The battle was fierce, a clash of wills and weapons that shook the very foundations of the planet. Zorgax lashed out with all the fury of the void, his blows rending flesh and shattering bone. Harry countered with the light of the Protheans, his artifacts blazing with the power of 1,000 suns. In the end, it was Harry who emerged victorious, though the cost was high. Zorgax lay dead at his feet, the Emperor's body broken and twisted by the forces he had sought to wield. But even in death, the Void Lord's influence lingered, a stark reminder of the threat that still loomed over the galaxy. As Harry stood amidst the ruins of the battlefield, the weight of his destiny pressing down upon him, he knew that his journey was far from over. The Void Lords were still out there, waiting in the darkness, and he would need every ounce of his strength and the power of the Prothean artifacts to stand against them. But for now he allowed himself a moment of respite, a chance to catch his breath and gather his thoughts. The road ahead would be long and fraught with peril, but he knew that he would not face it alone. With his companions by his side and the legacy of the Protheans to guide him, he would stand against the darkness no matter the cost. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and Harry was ready to meet it head-on. As the final battle raged, Harry stood at the heart of the maelstrom, the Prothean artifacts blazing with a fierce, unearthly light. Emperor Zorgax, consumed by the corrupting influence of the void, lashed out with all the fury of a dying star, his blows rending the very fabric of reality. But Harry would not yield. With a roar of defiance, he unleashed the full might of the artifacts, a blinding torrent of energy that engulfed the Emperor and his flagship in a searing conflagration. The vessel shuddered and buckled, its hull peeling away like the skin of a ripe fruit, before erupting in a cataclysmic explosion that lit the void like a second sun. Yet even as the Emperor's ashes scattered to the cosmic winds, tragedy struck. Janus, Harry's dearest friend and steadfast companion, flung himself into the path of a searing bolt of void fire, his body disintegrating in an instant as he shielded Harry from certain death. Harry's anguished cry echoed through the comlinks, a sound of pure, unbridled grief that tore at the hearts of all who heard it. As the battle faded and the grim toll became clear, Harry found himself adrift in a sea of sorrow, the weight of his destiny pressing down upon him like a mountain. In the days that followed, as the shattered remnants of the Zorgan Empire crumbled and the galaxy struggled to fill the void left by their defeat, Harry emerged as a reluctant icon, a symbol of hope and defiance in the face of overwhelming odds. Factions from every corner of the galaxy sought his favor and his counsel, each vying for a chance to shape the future in their own image. Yet even as he navigated the treacherous currents of galactic politics, Harry's thoughts were haunted by the memory of Janus and the price he had paid for their victory. The artifacts, once a source of strength and purpose, now felt like a burden, a reminder of all he had lost in the name of a higher calling. As he delved deeper into the secrets of the Protheans, desperate for answers that might ease the ache in his soul, Harry stumbled upon a truth that shook him to his core. The Void Lords, long thought to be the architects of the Protheans' downfall, were little more than pawns in a far greater game. The true enemy, he learned, was a rogue faction of the Protheans themselves, a cabal of fanatics who believed that the only way to save the galaxy was to purge it of all life and start anew. They called themselves the Revenants, and they had been manipulating events from the shadows for eons, steering the course of galactic history towards their ultimate goal. Now with the artifacts in Harry's possession and the galaxy in flux, the Revenants saw their chance to strike. They whispered in Harry's ear, promising him the power to reshape the universe in his own image, to create a new order free from the cycles of chaos and destruction that had plagued it for so long. Harry, torn between his grief and his sense of duty, found himself faced with an impossible choice. To join the Revenants would be to betray everything he had fought for, to abandon the ideals that had guided him through the darkest of times. Yet to refuse them was to risk the very fate of the galaxy itself, to gamble with the lives of trillions on the slim hope that he could find another way. In the end, it was the memory of Janus that guided his hand. With a heavy heart, Harry turned his back on the Revenants and their twisted vision, choosing instead to forge his own path. Drawing upon the full might of the artifacts, he tore open the very fabric of space and time, banishing the Void Lords and their servants to a pocket dimension from which there could be no escape. Yet the victory was bittersweet, for in severing the connection between the artifacts and the material plane, Harry sacrificed his own bond with the Prothean legacy. The artifacts crumbled to dust in his hands, their power spent, and Harry found himself alone once more, a mortal man in a galaxy that had grown strange and unfamiliar. As the dust settled and the shock waves of Harry's actions rippled across the stars, I watched from my vantage point beyond the veil, marveling at the courage and determination of this remarkable human. Through his deeds, the Zorgan Empire had been shattered, the Void Lords vanquished, and a new era of peace and cooperation had dawned. Yet even as the galaxy celebrated, Harry knew that the road ahead would be long and fraught with peril. The Revenants, though weakened, were far from defeated, and there would always be those who sought to fill the vacuum left by the Zorgan's fall. Gathering the surviving crew of the Odyssey to his side, Harry set out to rebuild what had been lost, to search for any remnants of Earth that might have survived the long centuries of isolation. It was a daunting task, but one that he embraced with all the strength and determination that had carried him through the darkest of times. As he stood on the bridge of the newly christened Odyssey II, gazing out at the stars that stretched before him like a canvas waiting to be painted, Harry felt a flicker of hope kindle in his heart. Though the path ahead was uncertain, and the legacy of the Protheans still cast a long shadow, he knew that he would face whatever challenges lay ahead with the same unwavering spirit that had brought him this far. For he was Harry Dixon, the last of Earth's children, and the fate of the galaxy rested upon his shoulders. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.